The other day I saw this fascinating TED Talk, kind of a TED Talk, but not quite. This lady was talking about AI and how AI is not going to destroy a lot of jobs like some people think. AI is going to destroy a lot of mushy brains that are already halfway there. And the way she explained it was that AI is almost like a cope for people who lack basic social skills, or people who lack basic creativity skills, or people who lack basic communication skills. AI can be used to help people with great skills, but most people, most average people, are using it for a cope. For example, she gave an example of, let's say you bought some AI product that could create the perfect website. Then you used that same AI product that would create the perfect product, the perfect information product to sell on that website. Then you used an AI product to create the perfect sales pages for that website. Then you use the AI product to create the perfect social marketing strategy. Social media marketing strategy, and you flipped a switch and the AI went to work and got all the people from the world and funneled them to your website, and they all bought the product and you became a millionaire. That's the fantasy. That's the fantasy. That's the get rich quick fantasy that a lot of people think AI is. It's a way to hide behind your lack of creativity skills, your lack of social skills, your lack of assertiveness, and create some kind of magic system that will make everybody rich. That's why everybody thinks, or a lot of people think, that AI is going to create all kinds of millionaires. But she said the one thing that people don't understand about AI is that it has to be filtered through the Pareto distribution. Now, what is the Pareto distribution? This is the way the entire universe is spread out. It's the 80-20 rule. If you look out all over space, you'll see that 80% of the stuff is in 20% of the space. One example she gave was, suppose they had a super advanced LLM model, a large language model, and you had 1,000 people that all used this super advanced LLM, and each of these 1,000 people instructed this LLM to come up with 100 jokes that nobody has ever heard before. And so you have 1,000 people, each with 100 jokes each that nobody has ever heard before. And each one of these 1,000 people presented these jokes through some kind of medium, maybe on TikTok, maybe on stand-up, maybe on some kind of social media platform. The 80-20 rule says that 20% of these 1,000 people would get 80% of the attention, or 80% of the money. And further, within that 20%, the 80-20 rule still applies. 20% of 20% is 4%. 80% of 80% is 64%. So if you had 1,000 people that used some magic AI system to create 100 jokes each unique jokes, 100 unique jokes, 100,000 unique jokes, and they all presented those jokes, 4% of the people would get 64% of the attention, or 4% of the people would get 64% of the money, which means that 96% of the people would be wasting their time. 96% of the people could otherwise be using their time to come up with genuine jokes, to come up with stage presence, to come up with communication skills, to practice their creativity. But because 96% of the people are wasting their time with AI, it's going to take their already mushy brains and turning them into more mush. And she said that's the danger of AI. People that can't succeed without AI think that AI is going to be some kind of a crutch that will help them succeed. People that don't know how to talk to girls are going to go on ChatGPT and try to use ChatGPT to figure out what to say to girls. But if you can't talk to girls in the first place, ChatGPT is not going to help you. She recommended this strategy if you want to avoid the AI apocalypse. And that is to go down to your local library, wander around the nonfiction stacks, and grab a nonfiction book from the nonfiction stacks and find a nice, comfortable chair in the library. Turn off your device, turn off your phone, turn off your automatic entertainment delivery system so your poor, fragile brain won't get lonely, and sit in a chair and read a nonfiction book for 1 hour. And then that night, go to a location where it's comfortable or it's appropriate to talk to people, a social venue, a bar, a club, and start conversations with people and talk about the nonfiction book. Talk about the content and the nonfiction book that you read that day. If you did that once per week, if you did that twice per week, you would build up your creativity. You would build up your knowledge. You would build up your social skills. But she said that most people won't do this because most people are too terrified to leave their devices behind and leave their poor, fragile brain all alone to have to think thoughts on its own without looking on the internet for content to keep your poor, fragile brain entertained. Most people are too lazy to sit in a book or sit in a library for an hour and read some information about nonfiction. People are too short attention span to be able to do that. People are too terrified to go out in public and start a conversation with someone and have to come up with something to say in the moment without using some memorized collection of words from ChatGPT. Most people have brains that are already mushy, and AI is just going to accelerate that process. But what about you, dear viewer? Is your brain turned to mush? Are you someone who's going to let AI make your brain get more mushy in a more accelerated way? Are you going to escape the trap because you know you have something inside of you? You know there's something about you that is different than most people. You know that there is a reason you are here. You know that there's a purpose for your existence, that you have a great story to tell. But among the people like you that have great stories to tell, there are basically two kinds of people. There's the average person, the normal person, the regular person who's going to sit around and wait for it to become easy to discover what your purpose is, to kind of daydream your way to success, to kind of wait for some kind of external magic to happen to make it easy for you to just suddenly accept all this greatness. Then there's people like you who realize you need to assert yourself onto the world, who realize you need to express yourself into the world in ways that might be uncomfortable. You need to express yourself in the world that might not be the easiest thing to do. You need to go through a lot of discomfort to get your purpose out there. You need to expand your comfort zone. You need to get outside of your comfort zone. That's essentially the people that make things happen and the people that wait around for things to happen. Most people are hiding behind AI. Most people are waiting for some kind of magic to happen. Most people believe it's possible to daydream their way to success. Then there's a few rare people who realize you need to continue to build your skills. You need to continue to expand your comfort zone. You need to realize that you need to express who you are, because when you express who you are, people will notice you. People will appreciate you. People will understand you because of your experience, because of the things you've done in your life. When you make the decision to express your true self, people will realize your purpose. Any future conversations you have with someone is an opportunity to express your purpose. Any future interactions you have with someone is an opportunity to express your purpose. Now, I don't know about you. I don't know if you're content to daydream your way to success or imagine success, or if you're one of the rare individuals to get outside of your comfort zone and leave magic tools behind and become who you were destined to be.